Hey everyone. Just done a new addition to the website. This is another calculator, but slightly different, bit of a niche calculator, I think. Probably not everyone's going to find this very useful, and probably if you do find it useful, you'll only look at it once. But basically, what this does is this is all about what happens when you retire, and what would just modeling out kind of like what would happen if you retire and how much money you would have. So what you can do is you can feed in a few bits of information. Just to let you know, I'm not logging anything that you're putting into this, and if you don't feel comfortable putting in some of this information, you don't have to put it fully accurate. You can put some bits in there if you that are different. For example, your date of birth, you might want to fudge the day, but the month and the year would be is probably quite good to get that right. So the first thing you do is you set up where your location is. So this isn't where you're currently located. You should put in here where you spent most of your life. I'll explain why that is in a minute, but for me, that would be Western Europe. Um, and then you choose your gender. I don't have any data for other genders, so we've just got male and female. So just choose whichever's most appropriate for you. You'll see that makes a big difference getting that right. You'll see in a minute why. And then in here you put your date of birth. Again, you don't need to put an accurate day, but the month and the year is useful to get right. And then you choose your the day that you think you're going to retire. So the defaults, we can just leave that as it is for now. Down here, you put the number of shares that you've currently got for MicroStrategy and for Tesla. So it defaults to 200. And then here's where you enter the number of shares that you want to sell per month that you're retired. So let's say you want to sell one Tesla share per month, and you don't want to have MicroStrategy. So you just put zero in there. Or let's say you want to sell two Tesla shares per month. And then here you can put your price targets for MicroStrategy and Tesla. So we can put in here, I don't know, let's put 5,000. And so when you do that, it updates this information here. So it tells you a few things. So first of all, it gives you the current live price, which is used for some of the calculations here. It tells you how long you've got to wait until you can retire. So basically, there's 56 months until this date. It tells you your current age based on your date of birth. Tells you your retirement duration. Now, this is a bit morbid, but basically what it's doing is it's calculating based on where you are in the world. So your life expectancy based on where you spent most of your life and your gender. So if I switch this to, for example, if you keep an eye on this number here, 323 months. If I switch this to somewhere with perhaps where I am now, this drops down to 239 months. So basically, what that means is that from your retirement date to the point where you're expected to live until is less when you depending on or more depending on where you are in the world. If you put in here Australia, it goes up to 347 months. So this is basically down to the level of I guess medical care and what people eat. It's just unfortunately it's just one of those things is that where you spent most of your life is going to strongly dictate how long you're likely to live. And also your gender makes a big difference. So men tend to live less long than women. So if you select female, you'll see that this number here shoots up for women. So it's even longer. So unfortunately, if you're a female, you need more shares or more money to see you out through your retirement. Anyway, we'll set this back to my settings. So again, this is the number of months that you need, and this is going to be how many shares you sell per retirement month. So basically, what you're saying to this calculator is like, I want to sell two shares for every month that I retire from this date up until the point that I die, basically, which is 323 months. And currently, what you've got is what it's saying right now is you've got 200 shares, 200 shares. So you've actually only got 0.62 shares per month per retirement month. So you're not at your two shares per retirement month target. So it's saying here you've got an excess of 200 MicroStrategy shares because you've put in a 200, but you don't want to sell any MicroStrategy per month after you retire. So this might be something you do for during this bull run where you've got MicroStrategy shares, but you're not planning on keeping them. So you're planning on selling all of these MicroStrategy shares, and then you're putting them as Tesla. So basically, it's saying you need 446 more Tesla shares, um, and and that's going to cost you 126,000. But because you've got all these MicroStrategy shares, when you sell them at today's price, that gives you a credit of 59,100. So you actually only need $61,000 at today's prices to get enough shares to be able to sell 2 shares per month for the duration of your retirement. That's a lot. I don't know if that makes sense, but and it's probably this may not be the best way of thinking about it, but it is one way of thinking about it. Like it's a simple process every month, especially if you've got an ISA, you could just sell like 1 or 2 shares of Tesla, and that's your basically your pension. So that's the way of looking at it. And then here, as I said, if you put your price targets in for MicroStrategy and Tesla, then this gives you your projected monthly income based on that price target. So basically, that is number of shares you've got multiplied by the price target divided by the number of months that you have for retirement, and that gives you this amount. So obviously um, that's the lowest it will be. I mean, assuming it gets to 5,000 on your retirement date, which is January 2030, which you've got here. But obviously, we think Tesla may continue to go up, so this number will potentially continue to go up, and you can put in here less if you want. That gives you that. And if you want to put in, just selling 1 Tesla share, then that drops down even further. So you can just play around with different bag sizes, and it updates here to tell you how close you are to getting to these targets. So yeah, hopefully that's useful. I've no idea if anyone's going to use this, but I did have this in a Google Sheet somewhere that I basically all I use it for is basically just to kind of give me a target of like, oh, okay, so I've got this amount of months that I need to think about. So how many shares do I need to cover me for that entire duration? So this is just a way of figuring that out, and also just playing around with different retirement dates. So like if you retired, let's say a bit earlier, then your monthly income will drop down because um, you know then you've got less shares, you're retiring earlier, your targets for that time is less. So yeah, it's just a way to kind of I guess visualize or think about your retirement plans. Yeah, hopefully this isn't too morbid. I mean, I put retirement duration, but basically that's just how much life you've got left to live after you retire. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you've got any questions. Hope you find it useful. Cheers. Bye.